Hey everyone, Kitti Minx here. Sorry for the very, 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 very poor quality audio. I am recording this on my phone using a cheap Bluetooth headset. So, yeah, and in case you're wondering why I'm not doing my usual with my my high quality microphone on my computer and stuff. Well, things have been pretty hectic. My computer has been having issues on and off for months, and the software I use on my computer to record and edit and everything, I pay a monthly subscription fee every month, and I haven't been really working, not just, with YouTube and Patreon and stuff, but working, with my other job and whatnot since September. And between that and then the pandemic that hit this past spring, money just got really tight, and, I wasn't exactly, obviously, as you can tell, the fact I haven't uploaded in a while, I wasn't exactly jumping up and down to get back to recording anything, so that all went on the wayside for now, and I'm sure I'll try to get back to it. I'll find the money to pay everything and get everything situated again, but that's just something that I can't exactly do right this second. So anyway, sorry for the very crappy audio and this being nothing like any of my previous videos, because this is, again, being done entirely on my iPhone. So I want to give you a truly heartfelt apology for why I've been gone for, it's been 9 months? Something like that? Almost, not quite a year, obviously, but sure feels like it, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, I am truly, truly sorry. I have been dealing with some things, some very stressful, heavy things, and it's a combination of things. For those of you who've, been following me, whether it's since the beginning of when I started uploading my content, or later on when I started, really just getting things out there, regardless of when you jumped on board, you probably noticed towards, July, August, September of last year that my uploads were getting fewer and farther between. And that's because I was obviously starting to hit some burnout. And I hit burnout pretty hard. And so that's one major factor. I just hit burnout. I lost a lot of my inspiration for new content. I lost a lot of my drive to frequently put out new content. I needed a serious break to pull back and recollect myself. However, as I decided to do that, as I decided to take my break and recollect myself, well, here's a bit of a bombshell to those of you who weren't in the know, which is pretty much 80-90% of you. Sorry about that. I found out beginning of October that I was pregnant, and that my husband D and I were expecting a baby. So towards the end of October, when I went to see the mommy baby doctor, the OBGYN, to confirm that the pregnancy was real and viable and very low risk initially of anything going wrong. When I got that confirmation, I then had to talk to my psychiatrist, and unfortunately all of my psychiatric medications there was not enough research done on them to show if they were safe during pregnancy or not. So we made the best choice possible for me to go off them completely and not risk the baby. So took about 2 weeks after I literally quit cold turkey of all my psych meds. I stopped taking them altogether. All the built up effects of them from taking them from so long wore off. And on top of being pregnant and dealing with the hormonal shifts and, especially that was the first trimester, so dealing with the morning sickness and for me it was all day sickness, which does happen to some people, and the fatigue and whatnot. I then got hit really, really hard by major depression and major anxiety. I genuinely wanted to make an announcement video around the time I got that confirmation from the doctor. I really did. But it wasn't long after I got that confirmation that depression, that anxiety hit me. And I can't quite explain it. I just kept putting it off, saying, I can do it tomorrow, which the reason why I was like that is because, first trimester, I was literally sleeping all the time. When I wasn't sleeping, I was nauseous like crazy, so kept putting stuff off. And by the time I started feeling well enough where I could have made an announcement via video or whatever, I felt like it was too late. I felt like people probably forgot about me. People probably stopped caring. People probably were angry and hated me for just disappearing without much of a word. So, yeah, that's part of why I just didn't until now. And how the pregnancy progressed is, after I was feeling sick and fatigued for the first trimester, it picked back up a little bit in the second trimester, but I started really gaining weight in the second trimester, so I was very sore. My muscles were sore, my joints were sore, I was getting weird headaches on and off. It was a bit much, and I did have energy to do some little things, like I was able to do a lot of housework around my house and keep up with my older kid and all that kind of stuff, but I still had issues. And around my about midway through first trimester, I went to the ER with a threatened miscarriage. So I then had to be cautious about that. I had to go on pelvic rest for a little while. And then again in the second trimester, I got an infection that also gave me a diagnosis of another threatened miscarriage. So I then had to, towards the end of the second trimester, I had to go on bed rest for a while and pelvic rest. So that was pretty miserable. And then as I got into the third trimester, I gained a ton of weight. It put a lot of pressure on my bones. It put a lot of pressure on my joints. I had a hard time walking around. I had a hard time just getting in and out of bed and, doing basic things like standing in the shower or taking a bath, because towards the end of your third trimester, they recommend you soak in a bathtub every so often for about 20 minutes at a time to ease the pre-labor contractions and other such pains. But I had a hard time doing that because once I'd get in the bathtub, I'd then have a hard time getting out because it would hurt to try to climb out. So yeah, all that was pretty fun, but it was all worth it, as on June 2nd, a little bit before 1 o'clock in the afternoon my time, my second child was born, a beautiful little baby, a little over 6 pounds, very sweet, darling little thing, who is currently, hopefully, sleeping peacefully right now. Because if you don't know newborns, they don't sleep through the night, nor through the day. They wake up every couple hours to eat. And then if they don't eat, they want to be cuddled. And if they don't be cuddled, they want to be changed or washed. It's pretty hectic. There's no sleep for new parents. D Night and I are miserable right now. D Night and I are very, very sleep deprived. I hate to say it to y'all. Very sleep deprived. Because we're both working on keeping up with the little one. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened to me. I pulled back because of my pregnancy. I was just too out of it from not being on my medication anymore, from stress from the pregnancy itself, and some family issues going on when the pandemic hit and my older kid could no longer go to school and had their routine fully disrupted. That led to a lot of behavior issues. So now my poor elementary school age kid is now seeing a psychiatrist themselves and in therapy and taking their own little kid psych medication. It's awful. I feel terrible about that, but as a parent, you got to do what you can to make sure your kid is okay and make sure they can function, because this poor kid was just constantly having meltdowns, getting more and more aggressive and nasty and combative, and it hit the point where the kid was getting violent, and you got to draw a line somewhere. So now my kiddo's in treatment. So hopefully kiddo will start getting better soon. We can only hope. And if those of you wondering how I've been handling the whole virus situation, well, it obviously affected the industry I also worked in, even though I had no plans of doing that while I was pregnant. I just know it affected it, and there is no sign of that industry opening back up again just yet. So I do feel bad for all the people I worked with who are now currently out of work as far as that is concerned. But D-Night, because of what he does, he's an essential worker, so he was able to keep going to work. He wasn't fired or furloughed or anything. He just kept working, but his hours kept getting all messed up, and then his military stuff was moved mostly remote stuff online and on the phone. So that's one little change that happened to him. Both my parents are quarantining with us, in part because our house has high-speed broadband like crazy, and they both need that to do their work from home on computers, even though for my mother at least, she has very reduced hours, but she still needed the broadband. So all in quarantine together, and we're all kind of driving each other nuts. But it is what it is. Hopefully at some point things will get better. States that open way too soon will calm the bleep down and settle down, and cases will go back down. And cases will go back down in the country as a whole and in the world as a whole. So things can relax a bit. I'm not going to say things can and should go back to normal, but we should have a new normal that's a safer normal, if that makes any sense. Because since quarantine happened, I haven't really left my house except to go to doctors and occasionally to a grocery store if someone I sent out couldn't find something and I was pretty sure the thing was there and I had to go find it myself, that sort of thing. So yeah, I haven't really left my home in months. So, yep, gotta embrace that new normal. Hopefully things will calm down soon. And to those of you who lost your employment outright, or were furloughed, or, had your hours reduced, or, you're not old enough to work yourself, but you live with family that happened to, or you have a significant other that happened to, I do genuinely feel for you. I really, really, really do. I feel for you pretty hardcore. I know you're going through. A lot of my friends in real life are dealing with this, so I understand completely. I do hope all of you out there have been able to stay safe, stay healthy, do the social distancing, wear your mask, please wear your mask, and wash your hands, and just, take care of yourselves and take care of people around you. Because I had to go through hours of labor wearing a mask. If I can do that, if I can push out a baby wearing a mask, I think people can wear a mask for an hour to walk around Walmart or something. That's just me. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But anyway, I was finally able to check some emails on my phone. I am due for an upgrade on my phone, which hopefully I'll be picking it up next week, as my phone's, aside from some software that I'm running on it, in terms of programs that update regularly, like mail software, it's a brick. So I was able to dig around and check some emails. Those of you asking about where certain pieces of merch is, like body pillows. My body pillows cases are manufactured in Asia, and because of the virus and the fact that even though cases did go down there for a little while, they went back up. So there is limits in the area of the factory that makes my body pillow cases to ship stuff out. And yeah, so they sort of told me that they're not doing any shipping outside of their province, or whatever that little area is called. So it's still a waiting game. I will let people know when I know that they are ready to ship again. So those of you waiting on merch from my Chinese manufacturers, thank you for your patience and understanding. And to those of you still waiting on commissions, obviously I've been out of commission for almost a year, and I do feel bad. I sincerely feel bad. But hopefully now that I am started back on my psychiatric medication, once it's in my system and I'm back more to how I am, I'm more myself, I'll have the drive and motivation to work on all that again. So please, cross your fingers and pray, because I do miss you all. I miss you all so much. I miss making content for y'all. I miss telling stories. I miss everything. I really do. Y'all are great. And I can't believe I missed the 30,000 subscriber milestone. That just shows how out of it I've been. Anyway, thank you all so much for your patience. Thank you all so much for understanding. I am truly sorry I disappeared. I had to just take care of me. I'm sorry. But thank you all so much. It means the world to me that you're still here supporting me. And I will do my best to hopefully soon get my act together and be able to make fresh content for you all. Love you all. And stay awesome. Catch you all in the next video. Stay safe. Stay alert, not anxious. Love you all. Mwah. Mwah.